everybody, it's Dawn Kuhn, the Mental Health Mom. How are you doing today? I wanted to jump on and give a quick update. It's been a while. I'm sure you're like me and that you're knee deep in all the holiday madness and excitement that the holiday season brings. We are too. It's been a crazy couple of weeks, but I wanted to jump on. I've had several messages asking for updates on the boys. So here we are. I'm happy to update you. We have so much to be thankful for with Thanksgiving last week. I mean, in my house, lots to be thankful for this year. And like I said, I just kind of want to fill you in on some of those things. Currently, the boys are doing their neurofeedback right now, as always. This is like the only time I have 30 minutes of peace and quiet. We have 5, count them, 5 more neurofeedback sessions left, and that's it. We will have completed our 60 sessions in just 5 more short visits. I'm kind of sad. I love the group here at Sandstone. It's going to be weird not coming here all the time. But we have 5 sessions left. And then we'll have a final brain mapping that will give us sort of our overall percentage of successful change in the boys' brain waves as, you know, as specific to each of their needs. And we'll have that, and I certainly will update y'all again with those final numbers after we brain map. For those of you that may be tuning in for the first time, I have 2 boys, and they were both misdiagnosed and wrongfully medicated for 6 years. One was misdiagnosed as bipolar, and one was misdiagnosed with ADHD. And we have since learned through some brain mapping and other tests what's really going on with them, and are currently engaged in neurofeedback training. And one of my sons is also involved in vision processing training to help them fix the situations that they have. They're both drug-free, and we are using only non-invasive methods to help them, and it's been quite a ride. We found out they were misdiagnosed in May, and it's been a whirlwind. But to know that my kids are off drugs and in such a better place than they were months ago, what is this happening up here, is just something to be so thankful for. It's just amazing. So let me update you on each kiddo. Let's start with Alex. So Alex is overall doing great. In fact, today's a special day for our family. Today marks 1 year to the day since Alex had his open heart bypass surgery. So we're very proud to celebrate how strong he is and how far he's come in the last year. He's doing fantastic. Couldn't be doing any better in relation to his open heart surgery. So overall, he's doing really good. He has had a few challenges. His anxiety has gone down significantly, and the anxiety is what we're treating with the neurofeedback training sessions. And I have to tell you, overall, his anxiety has gone down. I mean, this is a kid that is now walking up to other kids in the park and introducing himself. I even saw him flirt with a girl not too long ago at a park. So he is overall anxiety way down. And that's what the neuro is taking care of. He also, however, has some pretty serious visual processing issues. In other words, he has great eyesight. He can look across the room and see the eye chart and read the letters, but he's having a difficulty processing the words that he reads or the letters that he reads. So his reading comprehension is very poor. He's also having problems with some of his primitive reflexes. And I want to bring this up again. I know I've mentioned it in other videos, but I cannot tell y'all how important it is if your child exhibits any issues in reading comprehension or writing, or any ADHD-like symptoms, or if they've been diagnosed with ADHD by a psychiatrist, to have some behavioral vision testing done. There are some primitive reflexes that we all have that integrate in the womb or shortly after birth. And I don't have it in front of me, but I think there's 6 or 8 main ones. And for my son Alex, his never integrated. Not one of them. Not one single primitive reflex integrated. And so what happens with that when they don't integrate is things like it's very uncomfortable for him to sit. His body doesn't want to be still. So when he's sitting in school, and I homeschool, but when he was sitting in public school, he's constantly moving and squirming. And it looks like he has ADHD, but he doesn't. It's literally physically impossible for him to sit still for very long. Now, we're working on integrating those reflexes in vision processing training, but this is a long process. This is a year-long process, and we're only about 12 sessions into that. The combination of doing the neurofeedback and the behavioral vision training at the same time, I have to tell you, is really jumbling his brain. It's really kind of whacking out his nervous system. It's just a lot for his body to process. Both the neurofeedback training and the vision processing training, both of them, as you're trying to resolve the issues, sort of cause it to get worse before it gets better. So doing both at the same time has just made him a little bit of a hot mess. His poor little senses and body have just been through so much. Hindsight's 2020, of course, Monday morning quarterback here, but I can tell you that if I had it to do all over again, I would have waited until neurofeedback was completely finished before I started the vision process training. It's just a little bit too much for him. But we didn't, and we're almost done, and we're dealing with it. It's certainly not more than we can handle, but in hindsight, if I had to do it all over again, I would most definitely make that change. Now, as a result of his brain kind of being jumbled and his nervous system totally whacked out, we have started homeschooling Alex again. We took the first 6 weeks of this semester off because we just could not handle the stress and anxiety that school brought on. But we are back homeschooling again. I think this is our third or fourth week, but we are not at a full course load. We are just focusing on the most basic math, reading, and language arts, and some social skills. Because he also has high functioning autism. Most of you know that, but for those of you who may be watching for the first time. So the social skills is a big piece for us. But as we get further along in the behavioral vision training, I will be able to sort of sprinkle and slowly integrate the other subjects back in as he could tolerate them. But for now, I'm just completely focused on the most basic of basics. Because that's about all that he can handle in a day right now. And that's okay. That's the beauty of homeschooling, is it gives us that flexibility. So doing good, couple challenges, but overall doing fantastic. So that's Alex. So Adam, my other son, my oldest son, the one that was misdiagnosed as bipolar, overall he's doing fantastic. I can tell that the horrific withdrawal that he went through from all the medications that he was on, I think we're really finally getting everything, completely out of his system, and that's a really positive thing. He's doing I can't even tell you, he's doing so good, in fact, that Adam is going to be going back to public school. He's in the 7th grade. Going back to public school January the 9th when the new semester starts. And I cannot tell you how exciting this news is for our family. Adam is a very social kid. He is a public school kid all the way. I mean, he was meant to be in public school. When we had to pull him because of what we know now was the side effects of the medication he was on, at the time we thought were bipolar symptoms. But when we had to pull him, our goal was always to get him back in. And we are able now to get him back in way ahead of what our original schedule was. And we can thank neurofeedback for that. Academically, he's sort of on the opposite track of Alex right now, in that he's doing sort of a double time workload to catch up on the first 6 weeks that we missed. So that, he's roughly in the same spot as his classmates when he starts in January. So he is kind of really, really, really double timing it right now. And he's able to handle that, which is amazing. I'm working on lining up some tutors for him to help bridge any gaps that will exist when he goes back. I think it's important, if we've been homeschooling and we're integrating back into public school, to be proactive and having those sorts of things lined up, especially in like math, where everything builds. So I'm working on a math and possibly even a language arts tutor, because both of those subjects build. They build and build. You learn something and then you learn something on top of it, and then you learn a little bit more and a little bit more. So if you're behind, you can really struggle. History, science, those types of subjects, you generally start a new unit at the beginning of the semester, so I'm not as worried about that, but we are lining up tutors now to help bridge the gap in the subjects that, are constantly built upon, like math. He's polishing some social skills. He's still having some difficulty reading social cues, which certainly can be a problem in middle school. We all know middle school is a difficult age group to begin with. And sometimes Adam has difficulty reading social cues, like if he's talking too much or he's annoying somebody and somebody may look at him like, hey, move on. Sometimes he doesn't pick up on that. So we're working very closely with this therapist on that to ensure that he's ready to go back to middle school. We're also sending him to a bullying class that his karate instructor, the wonderful Master Ness at United Studios of Self-Defense in Magnolia, is putting on. Very excited about this. It's not a bullying class like you would think a karate instructor would teach. Like if somebody bullies you, you karate chop them. It's not like that. It's going to give him some coping mechanisms, some skills, how to not let it affect his self-esteem. And, we're not in denial. As parents, we've never been in denial throughout this process. And we are not in denial in the fact that we understand that he is going to be a target for bullying. He really is. Because he's going to be coming in mid-year. He's a little bit behind, probably academically. He is socially a bit awkward. So we're doing everything we can to give him all of the skills that he needs to succeed. He is over the moon excited about going back to be with his friends. All right, so that's what's going on with Adam. That's what's going on with Alex. As far as what's going on with the mental health mom and my advocacy work, I got to tell you, we're kind of in a stall right now, if you will, with the holidays. There's not a lot going on. But I did get the infomercials done. If you haven't seen them, you can go see them on the website or on the Facebook page. There's a shorter one and a little bit longer one, depending on where we're seeing it. So I'm really excited about, and that's so grateful to Gravity Marketing for doing those infomercials for me at no cost. We do need signatures on the petition, which is also on the website and on the Facebook page. We need to keep beefing that up. And I also need a ginormous favor, huge favor. I'm trying to get to 500 followers by the end of the year because I think being able to say that I have 500 followers will help me and get on some of the platforms I'm trying to get on in the beginning of the year. So if there's anybody or anything you can do to help me, I'm almost there, over 400, I think close to 450. But if there's anything you can do to help me get some more followers, I sure would appreciate that. The goal is, once the holidays are over with, to work my absolute mama bear tail off in the new year to get on some bigger platforms to spread awareness of, misdiagnosis, of our kids being wrongfully medicated, of the fact that the laws need to change so that we're using non-invasive treatments like neurofeedback and vision processing treatment and training to help our kids before we drug them. So much to do on the advocacy side. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get on some bigger platforms, such as, but certainly not limited to, some news programs, some talk shows. I'm working on some small group private speaking engagements, booking some of those, and certainly trying to get in front of as many lawmakers as I can. If you have any connections, if you got a senator in your back pocket that you know, or your cousin is a famous news anchor, let me know. I would appreciate any help I can get in that department. I'm kind of new to figuring out how to do all of this. I think the infomercial will help. I'm working on drafting many letters that will go out at the beginning of the year to try and get on some bigger platforms to raise awareness for myself and all of you other mama bears out there. If you're local, I'm happy to say that the Sandstone Center for Neurofeedback is still honoring the $99 initial brain map and consultation. If you mention the mental health mom, make sure you mention the mental health mom. Otherwise, they have gone back to full price, so it's no longer a special. But if you mention me, they'll honor the special. So if you're here in Houston locally and you want information or more information, please let me know. And last but not least, as far as the mental health mom goes, guys, my little shop is open on my website. So if you go to mentalhealthmom.com, mentalhealthmom.life. mentalhealthmom.life, that's my website. And you'll see a little tab that is shop. And if you go, you can get a Mental Health Mom t-shirt or sweatshirt or water bottle, tote bag, all very, very reasonably priced. I don't make any money on it. All the money goes directly through the wonderful vendor here locally that's helping me. So this is not a for-profit situation. I'm not taking $1. So they're very reasonably priced, great quality. And gosh, if you could, pick up something little and carry around a water bottle or a tote bag or wear a t-shirt, you would so help the Mental Health Moms branding efforts, and all of that will make a huge difference when we try and get on the bigger platforms. So if you haven't bought anything, go to the shop, buy something awesome, buy yourself a Christmas present. Okay, well, that's what's going on with us. I will probably do one more update before the end of the year when we get our final brain map results. And then I'll begin to update in the new year as hopefully our advocacy work, my advocacy work, begins to really take off. And last but not least in the update, I just wanted to say in this sort of season of giving, mamas out there, please don't forget to give yourself some self-care. Commit now to something that you're going to do for yourself over this holiday season. It doesn't have to cost a dime. It could just be, 30 minutes out in the porch swing reading a book or something. It doesn't have to cost anything, but commit now to something you're going to do for yourself over the holiday season to help recharge your batteries for the new year. Every mama works so hard, but us mental health mamas, we work extra hard, and we can't give if our tanks are empty. So just take a moment, jot it down, commit it, tell your husband, tell your sister, tell your best friend, this is what I'm going to do over the holiday season for myself, to give myself a little bit of self-care. And that way we all go into the new year with recharged batteries and happy and healthy and able to give 110% to our incredibly amazing kiddos. So that's what's going on with us. I hope you're enjoying this wonderful season. As always, thank you so much for your support. Go to the website, sign the petition, buy a t-shirt, and have a great week. Take care. Look forward to talking to you soon. Until next time, bye-bye.